Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Silblade, and in PokéMMO my trainer name is Gibonos. This whole channel and progression series started kind of by accident, so let's dive into how it all began. So why did I start making videos in the first place? I think the main reason is my passion for the Pokémon franchise. I have admired and loved them for years, and I have always enjoyed the basic idea of catching so many different creatures. As a zoology graduate, I have always felt a close connection to living beings, and Pokémon just seemed like a brilliant concept to me. I first discovered Pokémon back in 1999 when I was just 10 years old boy. I started with the very first games, Pokémon Red, Blue and Yellow on PC and also on my Game Boy Color. Then I got into the anime series and discovered the first generation of the Pokémon TCG. Over the years, I played every Pokémon game up to Generation 5, but Black and White ended up being the last ones for me because I never really got into the newer generations. I was starting to feel lost in the sheer number of Pokémon, and nowadays I only recognize many of the newer ones through the Pokémon TCG, which I started collecting and playing again after more than 20 years. As for PokéMMO, I have known about this game for a long time, maybe since the very start of the project, but do you want to hear a secret? I never got further than the first batch in Kanto. After that, I had always lost interest. Honestly, I can't even count how many accounts I have abandoned over the years. Until now. I knew that if I ever broke through this invisible barrier, I wouldn't leave Pokémon so easily. And that finally happened in 2025. That's when I realized just how deep and fun this game really is. I still haven't reached the end game, but I can already see there are so many ways to enjoy it. And that brings me to the main topic, the very existence of this progression series. All of my battles against gym leaders, bosses and rivals were recorded, except for the very first two rival fights. None of the battles were edited or replayed for the sake of the video. Everything you see is authentic and from the very first attempt. That means all of my illogical moves, strange switches and silly mistakes were real. And through those boss battles, I quickly learned that fights in PokéMMO are completely different compared to the original games. Every careless mistake is punished very harshly here, and trust me, I was punished a lot and often. I used to see myself as a true Pokémon master, undefeated and confident, but in PokéMMO, I feel more like Ash in his very first episode, clumsy, naive and constantly messing up. But here's the thing, when you do something for the first time, you won't start out as a pro. But if you keep trying to improve, it warms your heart to see where you began and where you are now. And that's what this progression series is about. You are not just following the growth of a character and their Pokémon, but also the growth of a player who broke through a personal barrier by pushing past the first gym and diving deeper into this fun and yet complex game. And it doesn't have to be all about me. Sure, you are following my character in the videos, but it could be about anyone who hasn't tried Pokémon yet, or who hasn't decided to dive deeper into it like I finally did. But let's take a moment to explain what these videos are actually about. Because the progression of the player and the Pokémon isn't the only thing you will see in the series. I also track each Pokémon's individual performance, their victories and their defeats. Unfortunately, some habits from other games have shaped my terminology a bit, so excuse me for calling these stats kills and death. When a Pokémon defeats someone or gets defeated itself, I record it in its personal stats. A full overview of these wins and losses is shown in simple graphs before and after each match. The Pokémon are ranked in a table based on their win-loss ratio, and this table updates after every match. Pokémon that leave the team are no longer shown. Do these stats prove how strong or good a Pokémon really is in the game? Definitely not. These stats are only valid within my team, and I would never dare to generalize their performance for the game as a whole. After all, real performance is also shaped by other stats like IVs, EVs, or their moveset. I show the moveset of each Pokémon before every battle. I don't want to overwhelm viewers with too many numbers. Still, I can always adjust that based on your feedback. And speaking of feedback, it's very important to me and I would really appreciate it. Not only feedback on my team or how I manage battles, but also on the videos themselves. Have I forgotten anything? Hopefully not. But enough told. I hope you will enjoy the videos at least a little and maybe leave a comment, give a like or subscribe. Whatever you feel like doing. So, take care all and see you in the next episode of my progression series.